very good evening and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester. We have got a lovely, lovely show lined up for you tonight. On tonight's show, we're going to be speaking to the one and only Alexander S. Burman, who's the creator of a brand new musical called I Wish My Life Were a Musical, to come to Manchester very, very soon. As if that's not enough, we are giddy here in Manchester already for the return of And Juliet. One of the cast members is going to be joining us a little bit later on to speak about that. His name is Jordan Broatch. And if that's not enough for us, oh yes, we like to deliver. Mark's been out and about, this time in a place called Hollingworth Lake. So we're excited about that. This is how your show's going to be looking. Well, when Disney comes a-calling, I-going, everybody. Yes, indeed. I got a phone call the other week, and it was quite simply a little phone call that said, Belinda, we'd like very much for you to come and learn how to tap dance with us. And so that's what I did, basically. I went down there, and they gave me a pair of tap shoes, which I've kept, and I'm very excited about. And, well, I guess the rest is best described by letting you watch the VT. This is how it looks. Well, we are here at the Palace Theatre, everybody. Now, there's a lovely show here in town at the moment. It's called Aladdin. Now, we saw it and we were bowled over. There was I think a 13-minute dance number in there that just seemed to go on and on. It was fabulous. It was costume after costume. Then we spoke to a few of the cast and we realised that maybe this wasn't as easy as what we thought it was. So with that said, we've now been roped into it to learn a little bit of, well, tap dancing. I was on the wrong foot. I was on the right foot. La la, la la, la la. Ooh! La. There. It happened. Oh my word. How long did that take you to learn?
About a day or 2 days for the tap.
Right.
But cleaning like 6 to 8 months. We still clean it now.
What's cleaning it mean?
Like tidying it up.
Oh, right.
It look like.
Oh. Well, there we go, everybody. I guess it's just as easy as that, isn't it? Said nobody else. I mean, honestly, with doing just the hour, everybody, that hour, I've never felt more like an asthmatic in my life. So it's very exciting. So when you come and watch this show, everybody, which I suggest you do, you can have a full-on appreciation of exactly what these dancers go through. Remember, it's 7 minutes, 7 minutes, the whole number, yeah? And there's a boys section, a girls section, a Strictly Come Cave section, the Genius section. It all comes together, 7 minutes of non-stopness. And I don't know how they did it, because I think I learned about 45 seconds or a minute there. And I'm ready to get back in my futon, everybody. Interested. Out of shape, but loved it. Loved it. Look at the costumes.
Look at the costumes and the turbans and the hats up above.
Look at the
The fezzes. Pop one on if you like.
I love a turban. Which one can I pop on?
Any of them. I'm sure they're all different shapes and sizes. But...
That's the baddies. Oh, he'll hate me for doing this. Shall I try it on? Are you ready? Oh, there we go.
Hey! Oh, stunning. There are more people doing it.
Is that good? Do I make a good Jafar?
If you'd like to join me. Thank you.
Another turban. Another turban. Let's try them on. They're so well made. Is it me? Is it me? Is that... I love that. I think that's me. Oh, there's a taller one there as well. Put it back where you found it. There we go. when I put a turban on, I end up looking more like Norma Desmond. It's unfortunate. Oh, whose is that?
So it depends. Some things they've got a couple of minutes, others they've got like podcasts. So really just.
The detail in all these costumes, though.
So our male ensemble, you remember the song "Friend Like Me"?
Yeah.
Every male trouser has 1,640 odd Swarovski crystals.
That is madness.
Things like that, I'm guessing. Yeah. And obviously these are all handmade. Like some of these costumes take like 200 hours just to hand feed.
It's all going on. The thing is, with this show in particular, I've noticed that what you've got to do is not just look in front, you've got to look up, because there's things hanging from the ceiling everywhere you look. Everywhere. Oh look, the scenery's coming in, the scenery's coming in. Even that looks proper, mind you. I suppose it's Disney, they know what they're doing with painting, don't they? Oh, so clever. Are extremely giddy about the return of a fabulous musical called And Juliet. Now, a few weeks ago we had Dr. Ranj on and he was telling us all about it. He's excited, he's going into it. But one other person that's sort of caught our little eye over the last few months with his interpretations in various different musicals is a gentleman called Jordan Broatch. Now, check this musical out and get ready to write the 8th to the 20th of July down as we say hello to Jordan Broatch.
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
This is fantastic. Now, we remember the hype that came with this when it first came to Manchester a few years ago, and it's set to be phenomenal and fantastic yet again. Who are you playing in this, and what is this musical all about?
So I'm playing the role of May, who in this show, And Juliet, it basically tells a story of what would happen after Romeo and Juliet if Juliet didn't kill herself. And so it goes on the story of Juliet finding herself and who she is and her independence. And May, who I play, is Juliet's best friend, who goes on this journey with her of self-discovery and is there as like Juliet's ride or die.
Oh, sounds fantastic. There's a lot of good music in this. Where does the music come from? Tell the story of that. Whose was the music and why is it still appealing to so many people?
Of songs they could use. And so each one's been used to fit into the story perfectly to tell exactly how the characters are feeling or move the story in a certain way, which is really cool.
So how has this been adapted then? What do we actually get to see with on the stage then?
On the stage, it tells the story of Juliet's life after and the what if on that front. And Juliet goes on this journey and the music that Max has written really empowers the story itself. And so the music really sparks and brings the energy and like the modern day feeling to the musical, because it's got, although it's based on a Shakespeare play, it's got a really, really modern feel to it. And the costumes, the staging, the set design, it links back to the Shakespearean time, but it does still keep a very punky, cool, edgy, modern vibe to it.
There's a lot of people that are these days thinking about performance, getting into performing. To those people that are perhaps thinking about it but not actually have done it, what advice would you give to them?
I would say go for it. Like if you can find any form of Amdram, even with like YouTube, there's so many things on there that can teach you how to perform. You don't need to have lots of money or anything to be able to get into it. Like there's so many like dance classes you can do on YouTube or like TikTok. There's so many singing tutorials now on like certain musical styles. There's so much info out there. And just like delving into it. And even just as a fan of musical theatre, you can type in whatever show you fancy on YouTube or Google, and then you'll have a huge list of like the music from that show, even like some trailers. Like there's so much out there now.
So, And Juliet, it's doing very, very well. It's coming to Manchester. When's it coming to Manchester and where is it going? So
it goes to the Opera House in Manchester on the 8th of July. And then we are there for 2 weeks and then we pop off around the rest of the UK and Ireland as well.
It sounds fantastic. Jordan Broatch, for your time today, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What if Juliet didn't kill herself? believe there's something hanging in the stars for me.
It's my life, it's now or never, and I ain't gonna live forever. All you people, can't you see, and that makes you larger than life. I come from my face when I'm with you, but I love it, but I love it.
This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more.
One more try, let you down, being young and stupid. I see it now.
I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire, champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
You know, we should rewrite all your plays.
Well, thank you very much, Jordan Broatch. Well, there is so many musicals going on around, well, everywhere actually, and very difficult for us to cover them all here on this show. But one that I really wanted to touch base with is a show called I Wish My Life Were a Musical. Now, this so far has won a West End Wilmer Award, and of course, is coming to our region very, very soon. We're joined now by the writer of this show, and that's Alexander S. Burman. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Lovely to be here. How are you?
I'm very good. This show sounds, and by all accounts, from its audience and reviewers, is getting wonderful, wonderful rave reviews. What's it all about? And yeah, tell us the story of this.
I Wish My Life Were Like a Musical is essentially a comedic musical review that reveals everything you could want to know about being a musical theatre performer, if only there were any who would dare to admit it. Plus, everything about all the devotees and detractors and disruptors they perform to. So it really covers the journey right through from the wide-eyed drama student to the brattish diva or the past-it chorus member or the bitter has-been, and it lifts the lid on the awful auditions, the debilitating dance routines, the mid-performance mishaps, the backstage backstabbing, plus not forgetting those magical moments that make it all seem worthwhile.
I mean, there is some beautiful songs in this. As much as it sounds like you're almost taking the mick out about a situation, there's some beautiful moments in this. What type of music would you say and influence is within this show?
Oh, well, it really covers the whole gamut of what people would expect from musical theatre. I mean, one of the wonderful things about musical theatre, and one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much, is that really you could have everything from almost operatic sounds to hip hop, to rock, to pop, to what people conventionally associate with musical theatre. And it is an entirely original score, but what I do try and do is pepper it with well-known musical theatre quotations. So, for example, our opening number is called The Opening Number, and it's all about what it's like to do an opening number. But it sounds very opening numbery, so to speak, by which I mean that it's got loads of fragments of well-known opening numbers. So it really kind of plays on all of the kind of conventional tics that people might associate with musicals. So the kind of the big impassioned duet.
And we're lucky enough to have this within our region quite soon. When's it coming to us? And where can we find it?
Right, it's going to be in Manchester at the lovely Hope Mill Theatre for the first week of July. And you can find out all the information you need to know, as well as hearing some of the songs, at likeamusical.com. It
sounds fantastic. For now, though, Alexander, thank you so much for your time today. Everybody, make sure you are fully checking this one out. And also, everybody, if you are coming to our lovely region from further afield, check out one of these great walks.
Hello, and for today's walk, we're out in the pouring rain. And we're at Hollingworth Lake, which is just near Littleborough. Hollingworth Lake was a place where people would come on holiday. And indeed, we still have the pub called The Beach, and we have fish and chip shops and a few amusement arcades and so on. It was like being at the seaside. Well, actually, it's a bit like the Lake District, isn't it? And it was one of those places that people who worked in the mills and so on would come on Wakes Week. So Wakes Weeks were set weeks that each town, Oldham, Ashton-under-Lyne, Trafford, all these places had their own week in which they were closed down. All the factories were closed down and everybody would go on holiday. Special trains would be put on to places like Blackpool and Morecambe, and you would all go away. Everywhere would close down for the week. And you would go on holiday, in effect, with all your friends, neighbours and work colleagues, because they would all be there as well. And that's why some of our seaside resorts grew up in Lancashire and Yorkshire. But in between, if you didn't want to go to the coast, you could come to places like this, to Hollingworth Lake, Daisy Nook, all these kind of places around Greater Manchester, where it felt like being away on holiday. Hollingworth Lake actually started life as the main source of water for the Rochdale Canal, and it spans now 118 acres. As I said, it was a place for holidays, and that developed up in the 1860s when it became known as the Weavers' Seaport. And 2 hotels were built here, the beach and the lake. So as well as boating, and there was a beautiful paddle steamer here on the lake in those days, there were pleasure grounds, and there was bowling, and there was croquet lawns and fishing, and even swimming in the lake. And that continues today. And it had a big boost in 1883 when boating was allowed on Sundays, and that's when it really became popular. In fact, there are accounts of 50,000 people turning out here for specific days. Today, well, it's used for water sports, for windsurfing, for canoeing, kayaking, swimming, rowing, fishing, and it's a lovely place to visit. Hollingworth Lake, just near Littleborough. And I'll be out for another walk somewhere equally beautiful, but hopefully a bit drier next week. See you then.
Well, what a fantastic walk that was, everybody, and there's more from Mark's walk coming your way next week. Fortunately for tonight, though, we are now out of time. Join us next week when we've got a very special episode all the way from the cobbles of Coronation Street, and our Izzy is bringing you a lovely VT all about Armed Forces Day. Join us next week, only on Your Manchester!